Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most intriguing and often misunderstood mental health conditions, which is bipolar disorder. And specifically, we're going to be talking about bipolar mania, which is the manic episode side of bipolar disorder. Now, bipolar mania is a type of mood disorder characterized by extreme highs, often referred to as manic episodes, which can last for several days or even weeks. Now, while that might sound really good to have this incredibly high racing energy, these manic episodes can be extremely destructive. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the symptoms of bipolar mania, from the hallmark signs such as inflated ego and grandiose thinking, to the more practical symptoms like impulsiveness, increased spending, and hypersexuality. We're going to dive into what it's like to experience a manic episode, and we'll also explore the impact that bipolar mania can have on a person's life, from relationship difficulties to decreased productivity at work to financial and health problems. But before I get into that, just a couple of disclaimers to go over. I'm a registered psychologist in the province of British Columbia, Canada, and this video is for informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute or replacement for advice from your doctor or mental health professional. Now, with those things out of the way, let's start talking about bipolar mania. Now, there are a number of symptoms that are associated with manic episodes that occur in bipolar mania. And the first that people often think of is an inflated ego. Now, during a manic episode, the person may have an exaggerated sense of self-importance and an unwarranted sense of superiority over other people. The person may feel as though they're capable of doing anything and everything, and they often overestimate their actual abilities. They may feel invincible, like they can do anything, or that nothing can stop them. And this can lead to another couple of other characteristics of manic episodes, specifically grandiose thinking and impulsive behavior. Now, in terms of grandiose thinking, people in the midst of a manic episode may have unrealistic and overly optimistic beliefs about their future. They may perceive that they are going to be incredibly rich or famous. They might believe that they have special powers or abilities, or that they've been chosen for some special purpose or some special mission in life. They perceive themselves as having special knowledge that other people might not have, and that they can accomplish anything. They may also view that they have some sort of special connection with celebrities, historical figures, or higher powers that isn't based in any sense of reality. Now, related to this, impulsiveness can also be a common symptom in manic episodes. In the midst of a manic episode, people often act on impulse without considering the consequences or implications of their actions. It's not uncommon to see people in the midst of a manic episode engaging in impulsive spending, such as buying expensive or unnecessary items. They may engage in risky financial behaviors, like taking out loans that they can't afford to repay, or making investments that they don't fully understand. I once worked with a client who, in the midst of a manic episode, took an impulsive trip to Palm Springs, and while they were there, they went to a timeshare presentation and ended up owning 3 timeshares they couldn't afford. And related to this impulsivity and recklessness, you sometimes see it in the midst of people experiencing a manic episode. They can engage in impulsive and risky sexual behavior. During a manic episode, the person may experience an increase in sex drive and may engage in sexual behaviors that are really out of character for them. This can take the form of sexual relationships with multiple partners, engaging in risky sexual behavior such as unprotected sex, or sexual improprieties like having sex in a public place. Another common feature in bipolar mania is that the person may have a lot of energy and may not need as much sleep as usual. So even though the person only gets 2 or 3 hours of sleep, they still feel energized and completely charged by the sleep. The person may feel a surge of energy and have the desire to be very active or productive without needing sleep. They may feel inspired and want to start a lot of new projects or ideas. They may feel like they have to constantly be busy and have to complete tasks as quickly and as efficiently as possible. They might find that they have difficulty sitting still or relaxing, and they may need to constantly be moving or doing something. It's very common for people in the midst of a manic episode to experience elevated or irritable mood. They may swing between feeling highly euphoric, full of energy, unstoppable, to becoming easily frustrated, angry, or even violent. A person with bipolar mania may also experience racing thoughts and increased talkativeness. They may feel like their mind is constantly moving from one thought to another, almost like they're trying to keep up with their thoughts, which can result in distractibility and difficulty focusing on a single task. Their thoughts may also feel disorganized or scattered because they're having a hard time keeping up with all of the things going on in their head. This also comes out in how a person communicates. They may become overly talkative or communicative during a manic episode. If you've ever talked to someone in the midst of a manic episode, you know what I mean, as they may talk excessively, rapidly, and without considering who they're talking to or what they're saying. They may have a hard time staying on track with a conversation because their thoughts are moving too quickly. It's kind of like this flight of thoughts that is just coming out in how they communicate. So, if you imagine a person experiencing a manic episode, it's probably easy to see how this might negatively impact a person's life in terms of all areas of their life, from relationships to finances to legal problems to work to their health. And so what I want to do is talk a little about the consequences or the impacts that a manic episode can have on a person. In terms of social relationships, as you might imagine, it can be very difficult to be around a person who is in the midst of a manic episode. Their behavior may be erratic, impulsive, inappropriate, and this can be frustrating or overwhelming for others to deal with, and this can lead to a lot of conflict or problems in relationships. Sexual improprieties during a manic episode may lead to relationship or marriage problems or conflicts with family and loved ones. The person in a manic episode may have difficulty following through on plans or commitments that they've made, and they can come across as unreliable and disappoint other people. The manic episode can also contribute to a person being excessively demanding or critical of others because they have this inflated sense of their own importance or abilities during a manic episode. This can lead to the person being excessively demanding or critical of other people, which, understandably, can lead to problems in relationships. Manic episodes can also cause significant financial difficulties for a person, as, like I mentioned, they may make impulsive or unrealistic financial decisions. They may quit their job or make large purchases they can't afford, like the example of the timeshares I talked about earlier. The person may also take financial risks during a manic episode, such as gambling with large amounts of money or investing in highly risky ventures. Because the person's so caught up in this flight of energy and ideas, they may neglect financial responsibilities. They may fail to pay bills. They may forget to pay their rent, or they may not pay their taxes on time. And this can then lead to legal problems if a person isn't paying their bills or, for example, ends a lease without proper notice, which can then result in lawsuits or other types of legal problems. Bipolar mania can also have significant impacts on how a person functions at their work or in their school. The person may have problems concentrating, which makes it difficult to complete tasks or learn new information. A person's behavior during a manic episode can be inappropriate and disruptive, which can interfere with their ability to function at work or at school. They may make inappropriate comments that are unprofessional or offensive to others, and this can lead to interpersonal difficulties at work. Additionally, in a manic episode, the person may have difficulty following their regular rules or routines of the work and school environment, which may make them either extremely unreliable or extremely disruptive at work. Their impulsivity may lead to rash or inappropriate decisions that can have negative workplace consequences, like not showing up to work, quitting their job without a plan, or dropping out of a course. And as a result, the manic episode may lead a person to being fired from their job or failing classes at school. And finally, manic episodes can have a negative effect on a person's physical health and their self-care. They may neglect personal hygiene, like not showering or brushing their teeth regularly. The person may engage in unhealthy behaviors, like not eating enough or eating a lot of unhealthy foods. They may use drugs or alcohol excessively. Additionally, the person may neglect medical treatments, like failing to take medications as prescribed or not following through with medical treatments. They may feel that they know better than their doctor about what's best for their health, and this can lead to catastrophic health consequences. And if you want to learn more about mood difficulties that often accompany manic episodes, I'd encourage you to check out this video. So that's all for today's video about bipolar disorder and bipolar mania. As always, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.